Which African countries are poised to become the continent's next superpowers? In this video, we'll explore the top 5 contenders: Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Ethiopia, and break down the reasons why they could rise to the top or fall short. Ethiopia, the sleeping giant. Ethiopia, with its long history and ambitious development agenda, could become a continental leader if it overcomes internal turmoil. In Ethiopia's favor: 1. Infrastructure drive. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is Africa's largest hydroelectric project. Roads, railways, and industrial parks are also booming. 2. Past economic growth. Before conflict, Ethiopia saw double-digit GDP growth, averaging over 10% annually between 2006 and 2016. 3. Large population. With 120 million citizens, it has huge labor potential and a growing domestic market. What makes Ethiopia's rise unlikely? 1. Civil conflict. The war in Tigray killed hundreds of thousands. Ethnic divisions still threaten national unity and recovery. 2. Political fragility. Elections are contested, institutions weak, and press freedoms limited. Democratization remains a work in progress. 3. Landlocked geography. Ethiopia lost its coastline in 1993. It now relies on Djibouti for 95% of its maritime trade, a strategic bottleneck. Kenya, Silicon Savannah. Kenya is rising as an East African powerhouse, known for its tech leadership and growing global profile. In Kenya's favor: 1. Tech and innovation hub. M-Pesa revolutionized mobile banking. Kenya is home to thousands of startups and tech hubs like iHub and Konza Technopolis. 2. Infrastructure growth. China-funded standard gauge railway (SGR) links Nairobi to Mombasa, slashing transport times and improving trade routes. 3. Tourism and agriculture. Kenya earns over $1 billion annually from tourism. Coffee, tea, and flower exports are major income sources. What makes Kenya's rise unlikely? 1. Ethnic politics. Elections often trigger tribal tensions. In 2007, post-election violence left over 1,000 dead. That instability still lingers. 2. Public debt. Kenya's debt-to-GDP ratio surpassed 70% in 2023. Critics warn the country risks a debt trap from over-reliance on loans. 3. Terror threats. Al-Shabaab has carried out major attacks in Nairobi and Garissa. The threat remains a regional security concern. Egypt, bridge between Africa and the Middle East. Egypt, the bridge between Africa and the Middle East. Egypt is one of Africa's oldest civilizations, and today it plays a strategic geopolitical role. In Egypt's favor: 1. Strategic location. The Suez Canal connects Europe to Asia. In 2021, the Ever Given blockage proved just how critical Egypt's geography is, halting $9.6 billion in global trade per day. 2. Military power. Egypt has Africa's largest military budget. It ranks in the global top 15 for military strength, with US-supplied jets and French Rafales. 3. Cultural influence. Al-Azhar University shapes Islamic education worldwide. Egyptian music and cinema dominate the Arab world. What makes Egypt's rise unlikely? 1. Authoritarian government. President El-Sisi's government has jailed thousands of political opponents. This suppresses dissent, but also stifles innovation and progress. 2. Water scarcity. The Nile provides 97% of Egypt's fresh water. Ethiopia's dam on the Blue Nile is raising tensions and fears of future water wars. 3. Poverty and inequality. Over 30% of Egyptians live below the poverty line. Inflation and food prices soared during the 2022 economic crisis. South Africa industrial backbone. 1. Institutions and rule of law. South Africa boasts one of the most independent judiciaries on the continent. For example, former President Jacob Zuma was jailed in 2021 after being found in contempt of court. A rare moment of accountability in African politics. 2. Industrial base. From mining to automotive manufacturing, South Africa is diversified. BMW, Toyota, and Mercedes all assemble cars in the country. 3. Global ties. As a founding BRICS member, South Africa plays a role in shaping emerging market narratives globally, hosting summits, and attracting investment. What makes South Africa's rise unlikely? 1. Internal unrest. Widespread protests erupted in 2021 over Zuma's arrest, leaving over 300 dead. High inequality and unemployment fuel instability. 2. Stagnant economy. GDP growth has hovered under 1% for several years. Youth unemployment exceeds 60%. A time bomb for social cohesion. 3. Energy crisis. State utility ESCOM frequently enforces load shedding, scheduled blackouts that cripple businesses and homes alike. Nigeria, Africa's giant. Let's start with Nigeria, the most populous nation in Africa. 1. Natural resources. Nigeria is Africa's largest oil producer. In 2022, petroleum exports brought in over $34 billion. The Niger Delta region holds vast oil reserves, which fuels Nigeria's economy and global influence. 2. Population. With over 220 million people, Nigeria has a massive youth population. That means a growing labor force and consumer market. Just look at how Nigeria dominates West African e-commerce and entertainment through platforms like Jumia and Nollywood. 3. Economic size. Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa by GDP. Its fintech sector is booming. Startups like Flutterwave and Paystack are leading Africa's digital revolution. What makes Nigeria's rise unlikely? 1. Security issues. Boko Haram and banditry have displaced millions in the north. In 2021 alone, over 3,000 people died in related violence. That instability undermines investor confidence. 2. Corruption and governance. Transparency International ranks Nigeria low on its corruption perception index. Massive oil thefts and political scandal, like the 2023 fuel subsidy fraud, remain barriers. 3. Power and infrastructure gaps. Electricity supply is unreliable. Nigeria produces only around 4,000 megawatts of power for 200 plus million people. Lagos often sees daily blackouts. These 5 nations represent the hopes and the hurdles of Africa's future. Will Nigeria rise? Will Kenya overcome tribalism? Can Ethiopia unite? The answers lie not just in leadership, but in the will of the people. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more geopolitical breakdowns, and let us know in the comments, which country do you think will lead Africa in the 21st century?